Great Tuesday morning, everyone. How are you? This is your girl Shan, better known as Queen, Marriage Mornings with the Queen. As I do every Tuesday, thank you so much for your support on our show last night. Thank you for the messages that we've received about the show and the nuggets that you got from it. We greatly appreciate your support. We appreciate you taking time to listen in. So for the sake of time, I'm going to get into today's topic. I always go to God and I pray and I'm like, God, please give me something to talk about, because in my mind, I'm thinking, how much can you talk about in regards to marriage? But as the world continues to go on and on, there is always things to talk about. Good morning, Latanya, and good morning, Delisha. How are y'all doing as the coffee crew is rolling through? Yes, that's what we call everybody that join me in the morning times. But I'm going to be talking about basically toxicity on this morning. When you allow toxic situations to ultimately harm you, we have to understand. Good morning, Danielle. Let me take it in this angle. So I often think about the Bible, right? And I think about Jesus, since we who are Christians, supposed to follow Christ and his example. Hey, Miss Delia, I think about Jesus when Jesus was walking about on the earth. So I'm going to break it down kind of, my way to kind of make it plain, but I would encourage you to go and read the scriptures for yourself. So we come at it like this. I think about Jesus when he was walking the earth, even though he was walking with his boys. You know what I'm saying? That's, I call it the disciples. He was walking with his boys. Every now and then, if you read in the New Testament, he would go up into the mountain, or he would go on the other side of the lake, or whatever the case may be, and they'll be wanting to come with him. And he like, no, this is time that I got to have myself. This is time that I got to go spend with my Father, whatever the case. And he will go and he will pray and he will be before God. Now, a lot of us is holding on to toxic situations that God is telling us to let go of. Hey, Heather, how you doing? That God is telling us to let go of. We do not understand when we continue to hold on to this toxic relationships, and God is telling us, no, that's a season. You trying to make them a lifetime, but that's a season. It not only destroys us, but it starts permeating itself inside the walls of our marriage, especially when our spouse say, baby, I don't know about that one. You might want to be careful of that one. And so I remember early on, to give an example, in me and my husband's marriage, and I can discern really well, I'm not talking about just sit back and observe, like I can really discern. And I remember, and it wasn't just females, it was also males. And let me give a situation about a male really, really quick, because I don't want nobody to think I'm just bashing females. But I remember when my husband was in the military, good morning, Mama Robinson, it was this guy. And I kept saying, baby, I don't know about him. Something about him ain't right. The country folks will say that. I can't put my finger on it, but something about that joker ain't right. And so I remember telling my husband that, and then my husband was like, no, so-and-so cool, this and this and this, and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, baby, I don't know. It wasn't like the person was toxic, but it was like the person was living a double life. You know what I'm saying? We was real cool with the individual, real cool with their family, but something just wasn't right, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So let me insert this piece right here. If you ever have a feeling that something is not right, instead of us becoming detectives, hey, Toy, how you doing? Good morning. What I would encourage you to do, because I've done this several times, pray about it. Say, God, whatever it is about this individual, I pray that you will reveal it in your timing, God. And see, when God revealed that thing, don't be shocked. You know what I'm saying? Go back in your mind to that prayer where you prayed it. And so I was like, something about this joker ain't right. We used to kick it with him, all those things. And so long story short, a situation happened in the unit where this individual was brought up against sexual harassment or whatever, was sexually sleeping with individuals in the unit. Well, where it came back around to my husband is it was said amongst the ladies or whomever it was communicated that my husband was the one that was sleeping with these young ladies. When it wasn't my husband, it was that man. You know what I'm saying? And so here I am as a wife. I'm like, now I wouldn't believe my husband would do something like that. And I'm talking about, when I say sleeping, this joker had 20 to 25 people, maybe even 30, maybe a bit more. And I was like, no, my husband, he's here with me. He's here with the kids. I don't know what he's doing at work. Long story short, this individual was toxic to our relationship. So that, something wasn't right. It served its purpose when I prayed to God and asked God to reveal it. Y'all probably saying, Shan, why are you talking about this on this morning? See, what we'll do is when somebody makes us mad, we'll cut them off and we'll automatically label them as toxic. And when 9 times out of 10, that's not the case, especially if they're a good friend that you didn't ask them, hey, what do you think about this in regards to my life? And they say, you sure you want to know the truth? And they tell you the truth. Then you label them toxic and you cut them off because 9 times out of 10, they done told you something that you don't want to hear about yourself. Now, that ain't a toxic person. That's somebody that was telling you the truth. Let's talk about toxicity and how it permeates. So let me bring it back around to what I was talking about with Jesus, right? This is what I like about God. God will call us in a place where we need to just sit back, shut up, and observe. You hear me? Sit back, shut up, and observe. You will start to see people that distance themselves from you, and people start to act different. And you sitting up here like, God, what's going on? Do my breath stink? Is it me? Is my attitude nasty? Please know that God could very well be calling you into a sit back, shut up, and listen state and observe. You see what I'm saying? There are times when your spouse may tell you, husband or wife, they may say, baby, I don't know about that chick over there. It could be the wife. I don't know about that female right there. You might want to watch, and it's one of your co-workers or maybe a member down at the church. And she say, you might want to watch her, but see what I've seen husbands do, instead of you listening to what your wife is saying. You see what I'm saying? You either going to say one or two things. You're going to tell her she jealous. You always say that about everybody. Now, you know if your wife is jealous or not. So if she is, then this shoe fits. But if not, then sir, you may want to listen to what your wife is saying. See, this is what I know about God in marriage. God allows us, we each individually have a gift or gifts, husbands and wives. And so mine has happened to be discernment, so it's a little bit stronger. So now my husband know when I say, baby, it's something about that person, you might want to watch them or whatever, he'll fall back and observe. Now, I'm going to be honest, the earlier part of our marriage, there used to be a fight. Because he used to, what is it about you? Are you jealous? No, I'm not jealous. Good morning, Wendy. Something about that joker ain't right. So God will call us to sit back and observe. And in our observation state, what we may want to do is say, as he's showing us things, is that person supposed to be in my life for a season, a reason, or season, or a lifetime? Is that a lifetime friend? So let me tell you about our lifetime friends. Our lifetime friends, we don't have to talk every day. We might talk once or twice a year. You hear me? But when you get back together, it's like no time was lost. That's what lifetime look like. A season, that person may just ride with you for a season and then they'll end up turning on you, or they end up separating themselves. Or, oh, let me give a good example to my single ladies. Let me go ahead and give some to y'all. You know how you got somebody who was riding for you, baby. And then your boo, God brings your boo around. You dating, honey, you happy, and the next thing you know, your friends start acting some kind of way. They no longer act like your ride or die, and then this is your Prince Charming, your king that God has told that individual, hey, okay, there's my daughter, she ready for you. She been doing all the things that I said. Hey, that's her. That's who I created for you to have. She ready for you, and then you all happy, you planning the marriage, and they like, yeah, girl, I'm there for you. All that. They even standing for you in your wedding. And then after you done got married, all of a sudden they acting stank and they no longer around. Hey, Miss D, they acting stank and they no longer around. Then, baby, what we do is say, well, what happened? What, we was ride or die. We was there for each other. What? I don't get it. What happened? And then they set up and they say, oh, well, girl, it's nothing. And they lying. They lying because you happy. And then what we do is, instead of investing in this new marriage, because God has blessed us, God has answered our prayer, what we do is we trying to hold on to that relationship. Let me go ahead and holler at you. That person may very well have been for a season, okay? And some people come in and out for that reason. We hold on to toxicity and we do not understand, and we begin to ask ourselves, why is our marriage going awry? Why do I feel some kind of way? Why do I have this heaviness on me all of a sudden? And let me tell you what I used to feel. I used to feel I got to go to them and make it right because I don't know what I did. But you know what? The issue was not my battle. The issue was the battle that they had within themselves in regards to me. So God will pull you back. But see, let me tell you what we do. We continue to run and run and run and do all these things, and we stay busy. Sometimes we so busy that we can't even date our own spouse. You see what I'm saying? We can't take time out for our spouse, but we continue to run and stay busy when God is saying, I need you to sit down. I need you to sit back for some time, and I need you to be quiet. I need you to observe. I need you to look around. The situation that you're allowing yourself to stay in is toxic to you. It's killing you. And that may not even be relationships in regards to friends. That may be relationships in regards to family. Because I just had a conversation. Hey, Kathy. Thank you, girl. I just had a conversation yesterday with a real good friend who was talking about a family member who happened to be 60-some years old. And you know, you get older and you think back like, wait a minute, I don't understand. You know, you look at your life, and then that's when you start to realize all the time that you wasted on people who were toxic. You allowed your marriage to fall by the wayside because you was running behind this toxicity. That toxicity very well be you trying to be something, you trying to attain some goal and by any means necessary, and you losing your loved ones to include your marriage around you. So ask yourself, sit back, observe, and examine. Those people who are truly going to be there for you, them are the ones who encourage you. Them are the people who tell you, you know what, you wrong in this situation, sis. I love you, but you wrong. You shouldn't have went off on your husband like that. I had plenty of girlfriends tell me that. And I'm sitting there thinking, you supposed to be my friend. I came to you with the situation with help. How you going to tell me? You see, I'm head rolling, right? I had a straight up attitude. But see, those are the people who wants to see your marriage prosper. When you're crying out to God, when you're saying, God, I don't understand, what can I do to be a better wife? And you talk to your friend girl and she tell you, Shan, you was wrong. You need to go to your husband and apologize and get that right. See, we don't want to hear that. What we choose to do is surround ourselves with people who are toxic. And see, when you have your circle, maybe you just pray this prayer. God, I'm not growing, God. I don't understand. I feel stuck and stagnant. Who are you surrounding yourself by? Now, in my marriage, what I had to realize is Mr. King is my ride or die. You hear me? That's the one that I believe without a shadow of a doubt that God has joined together with me. There are so many young couples. Let me talk about this. You know, when you go from being single to married, maybe even when you're newly married, but I see it more so with young couples. Like I used to tell my kids, you sitting up and you listening to your stupid friends. Your stupid friends can't tell you nothing. They haven't been through nothing. And so this is where I commonly see mistakes, especially in women. Especially, I see it in men too, but especially in women, is when you sitting up here listening, no disrespect to the single ladies, but you listening to your silly acting single homegirl who telling you how you should operate as a wife in your marriage. What type of sense does that make? Or homeboys, brothers, let me holler at you. Come on in here. Let me holler at you. You sitting up here listening to your homeboys who have never been married. They ain't never been in a relationship over 2 weeks. They got Jane, Becca, Shaquanda, and Shanice that they all trying to date. Hey, Talitha at the same time. But then you sitting up here listening to him when he said, oh man, you locked down, man. You acting totally different, man. I don't know if I can let a woman lock me down like that. This is what you listening to, but you want a prosperous marriage? I don't get it. And then when you go along about 3 to 5 years down the line and you realize you messed up and you was listening to the wrong person, then your marriage is no more. So why do we take the time to listen to toxic people? You see what I'm saying? And they exist everywhere. They exist on your job. They exist at your school. They exist in the church. Why do you take the time to listen to toxic people? Let me go ahead and break down a little scripture paraphrasing. You need to examine people's fruit. Okay? I examine the fruit. I'm not saying that people who have went through things can't teach, who went through things in their life that got a divorce can't teach me something, because this is what I want to hear from somebody that got a divorce. What caused you to get a divorce? If the first thing out their mouth, well, he was doing this, or it was his fault, or she was acting a fool, I stop right there. I don't even listen. I check out of the conversation. You see what I'm saying? But hey, Toy, but when I talk to individual and I say, I ain't trying to be all up in your business. You know, I desire to have a long marriage and this, that, and the other. If you don't mind me asking, what led up to your divorce? When they say, you know what, I recognize that I did this in the marriage, or I didn't do this right, or, you know, I was letting myself go because I was trying to be everything. I lost myself. When they start off with then baby, I'm all in. You heard me? But when they start off with he's the problem, 9 times out of 10, or she's the problem, it's them that's the problem. So why do we surround ourselves with toxic people even when God drops in our spirit to let them go? Even when God drops it in our spirit, you don't want that person around you because they're no good for your marriage. Why do we do that? Now, some say, Shan, you don't understand. I like yes people around me because they make me feel good like they got my back. If they yes people, they don't have your back. If you got people in regards to your marriage, and you can't trust everybody, because you know you got some people who gonna literally say stuff because they want to hurt you. They want to make you feel less than, but they supposed to be your friend. I'm not talking about them people. If you got people surrounded around you, think about people who got money. What is the first thing that you've heard about an individual who got a lot of money? They became a millionaire and a billionaire. Generally those from the hood. Now I ain't knocking the hood, but they will surround themselves, because see, God done moved them from the hood and they will surround themselves with hood people. Okay, 9 times out of 10, those from the hood is the one. Y'all just seen what happened to the young man a few weeks ago. They just had his funeral last week. Those from the hood is 9 times 10 the ones that's gonna bring you down. Those are gonna be the ones that's gonna steal your money. No disrespect, and some of y'all from the hood in your feelings. Now, it ain't always that situation, but what I'm saying is this is those who have money and then all of a sudden they go broke. They're broke all of a sudden. Man, I don't understand. You signed a contract for $2.1 million. How are you broke? Because they surround themselves with people who were yes people. Not people who say, hey man, you might want to take a portion of that and invest it into this. You might want to invest into some real estate. Hey sis, you might want to don't put all your eggs in one basket. They didn't surround themselves with people who was going to speak wisdom and truth. It was people who were toxic. Some of y'all, and look at how people click up. I'm very good for that, especially in the church. I look how people click up. And I'm like, I'm observing people's fruit. What do your fruit look like? What do your children look like? Are your children, are they acting? Because the children 9 times out of 10 are going to manifest what resides on in that house. Unless they were told what goes on in this house stays in this house. You know, they threaten them with an inch of their life. 9 times out of 10. So I just encourage you on this morning. Find yourself when God is pulling you to a place of quietness. When God is pulling you to a place of, I don't want you to say much. I just want you to look and observe. I just encourage you to start looking. I encourage you to think, how is this person or this husband and wife team, are we iron sharpeneth iron? Do they sow into us like we sow into them? Or are they always draining? And then me and my spouse end up arguing and fighting over their issues. Ask yourself, when it comes to that friend, what are we doing? Is it an equal exchange where we're sowing into each other and we're helping each other build? Are we doing that iron sharpeneth iron like the words say? Or are they always pulling from me and I'm always draining? Do they cheer for me like I cheer for them? See, that's a big thing right now. A lot of people ain't cheering for each other. Me and Kenyon had a lot of people that ain't cheering for us. Now we starting to gain a lot of cheerleaders. But in the beginning, the very people that tried to tell us the things, thank God for having a relationship with God. And I encourage you this too. Oh, y'all shouldn't do that. Oh, Shan, you too strong. Oh, Kenya, you sound too weak. Oh, y'all shouldn't say nothing about this because it's going to make the church look bad. But baby, them the very ones that's in our inbox and sending us friend requests now. I don't say that to bag on people and bag on the church. What I'm saying is when you sit back and discern, God will let you know when people is trying to leech off your happiness. God will let you know, good morning, Antron, how you doing, sir? God will let you know when people trying to leech off of your marriage. But see, we are so busy surrounding ourselves with toxic people trying to run after success that we lose the very thing that God bless us with, and that's our marriage. Mr. King, baby, that's my ride or die. I was telling him that on last night. See, check it. When you trying to run after success, You will even allow somebody to come and talk about your spouse like a dog in front of your face. And if you find yourself saying, yeah, Shan is like that, then you trifling. Because you supposed to be the one holding your spouse down. I just told my husband on the ride home yesterday, baby, can't nobody come. And maybe that's the hood loyalty in me, because I'm loyal to my husband. But can't nobody toxic come up and have a full-blown conversation with me dogging my spouse, and you think I'm going to sit there and take it? That's when you need to test your loyalties to your husband and your wife. Don't you dare ever let anybody, I don't give a dog if it's your own mama, okay? Listen to me. My family don't disrespect my husband, just like I don't disrespect my family's significant others. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when something go down, me and my blood siblings, we family, and it's gonna go down like mama used to tell us. You attack one, you attack all, okay? We coming like a pack of hyenas. But what you not gonna do is sit up here and disrespect. And see, some of y'all allow people, because you want to be in people's good graces, that are toxic, to disrespect your family and to disrespect your spouse. So if this is you, God just dropped that in my heart, you need to examine yourself. Where does your loyalties lie, Peter? Because that's what Peter did to Jesus. And Jesus was the one that told him, you gonna deny me 3 times. No, Jesus, no. I'm your dog. I got your back. I wouldn't do that. And when that doggone rooster was crowing, what happened? He was denying Jesus. Some of y'all deny your own doggone spouse because of toxic people that you surround yourself with. Ask yourself, where do your loyalties lie? Because at the end of the day, as long as Mr. King ride for me, I'm going to ride for him. I don't care if it's the president of the United States. I don't care if it's Jesus' disciples. I don't care if it's anybody in the church. When you put that boundary up of what you not going to do is disrespect, you are showing a united front. But soon as you allow a toxic person, a pinky toe in your home, a pinky toe in your marriage, then baby, they going to ride the whole way. So some of y'all are toxic to your own marriage. Some of y'all are toxic to your own family. Like I always say, I don't know what you're going through, but ask yourself, where do your loyalties lie? Are you one of the main ones that's dogging and disrespecting your spouse out here in these streets? You see what I'm saying? You may be the toxic one because of the toxic environment that you grew up in. And one last thing before I get ready to go, and I'm not going to do a preacher's closing and make it 3. This is just, I promise, one last thing. This is what I'm going to say. So what I want you to understand is this. Everybody is not for you. Just like we think that people love and they support us, just know, just like the devil, he tempted Jesus, the enemy, he tempted Jesus on that mountain when Jesus was fasting 40 days and 40 nights. People are going to come to tempt your marriage and tempt your family. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it because they're not happy and pleased within themselves. And so whatever they can do to get an inch in. So I encourage you, husbands and wives, quit acting like you are the enemy against each other and learn how to be a team against these toxic outside situations. You hear what I'm saying? Learn how to be a team. Learn how to be loyal. Learn how to keep God first. And when things don't seem right, before y'all start arguing and going at each other's throat like a WWE match, I need both of y'all to sit back and observe. When the wife feels something in her spirit and she bringing it to you, sir, you need to be like, instead of arguing with her, let me fall back. Let me go before God. Let me go ahead and examine this. Ask her, baby, why do you see that? Because there are a lot of things that God has saved my husband from by what he downloaded into me spiritually. There are a lot of things that God has downloaded in my husband where my husband said, no, baby. All men ain't right. They got ulterior motives. They don't care if you married or not. You know what I'm saying? And I had to fall back and say, dang, my husband is right, because he's been experienced and he was around the military a lot longer than I was. Quit allowing toxicity to destroy your union and make you all two. Stay connected as one and continue to keep God as the foundation of your marriage. Ask yourself after I get off this video, what is toxic around you that you are allowing to destroy your marriage and to destroy your family? Number two, that's number one. Number two, if you are allowing your marriage or your family to be destroyed, ask yourself, are you being toxic when it comes to your marriage and it comes to your family? Are you allowing that toxicity in? And number three, where does your loyalties lie? Because I understand I got some strong hood loyalties, but it has helped me, and that's something I'm not going to get rid of. Where does your loyalties lie? And are you actually loyal to your husband and your wife? And are you loyal to your family? Okay? So it's time to cut out the toxicity, fall back, pray to God. Ask God, God, who do you desire for me to remove from my marriage situation? Sometimes you got to distance yourself from family. You can love them from afar, but don't allow them to destroy your marriage, especially when you recognize they're toxic. Sir, when your wife come to you saying that your mama's causing toxicity, you might want to fall back and observe. Sis, when your husband coming to you saying your homegirl is causing, your trifling sister's causing toxicity in our marriage, you might want to fall back and observe. Ask yourself, because you don't want to be 70 years old saying, dang, I wish I would have listened to my husband when he said it, but I thought he was being jealous and trying to control me, but he living his life with his beautiful wife and they've been married all these years and that could have still been me. Okay? Ask God for guidance to remove that toxicity. And for those busybodies, when God shuts it down for you and allow you to remove yourself from a bunch of situations and observe, you need to be observing and praying at the same time that God give you wisdom, that you move the way that God desires for you to move. So y'all have a blessed day. Blessings to you. I hope that this video was something to make you think at a deeper level. Everybody's not going to get it because some people surface and that's where they're comfortable. But these are for the people who desire better in their marriage and better in their family. This won't be for everybody. For the single ladies and the single men who you want to get married and you desire better. This is who this is for. So if this wasn't for you, baby, just keep on scrolling. You ain't going to hurt my feelings. Y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. Your girl Shannon be back with you with whatever God placed on my heart. God bless.